Do any of y'all have a game or something in your life that you really loved, but you were just a little too young to fully enjoy it? Well, that's exactly how I felt about Metroid Prime. I grew up watching my older brothers play it, but it was just a little bit too hard, and by a little bit I mean very much too hard, for 4 to 8-year-old me. But I'm an adult now, dang it. And so I bought a GameCube, and I sat down to face that challenge of Metroid Prime head on, and it's still really tough, guys. The Metroid series does not mess around, y'all. Then while I was playing it, I started to evaluate Samus, and I had a lot to think about. My chief concern being, what kind of caster do I want her to be? I knew she was going to use magic in some way, but did I want her to be an artificer because of all the tech? Not really. She's not really building different magical tools so much as just finding them on the ground, which makes her just as much an artificer as a wizard who happens to find gauntlets of ogre strength on a dead guy. And speaking of wizards, why not make her one of those? Well, first of all, she uses armor, which automatically rules out wizard and sorcerer. But if we ignore that, wizards dedicate practice and study to learn magic, whereas Samus is able to adapt and use the tech she finds almost instantly. So what about sorcerer then? And on my thinking went until I stumbled on rangers, which is perfect to describe her. For starters, rangers are half-casters, so I can classify her different beam weapons, upgrades, and visors as magic and move on with my life. And the favored enemy trait could be utilized very well, with either space pirates or Metroids being her preferred choice. And this is all well and good, don't get me wrong, but I want to mention one thing in particular. Samus is a bounty hunter, and this leads to the main reason why I think she'd be a ranger. Xanathar's guide says about rangers are free-minded wanderers and seekers who patrol the edges of civilized territory, turning back the denizens of the wildlands beyond, never doubting that their work makes the world a safer place. And from the player's handbook, Warriors of the Wilderness, rangers specialize in hunting the monsters that threaten the edges of civilization, humanoid raiders, rampaging beasts and monsters, terrible giants, and deadly dragons. Now you might be wondering why I bring this up, and the reason I do is because Samus is hired out to go and take on some pretty big jobs, such as in Zero Mission where she goes to eradicate the Metroids as they're a terrible parasite that kill a ton of people, or in Fusion where she's sent to a research facility that got attacked by an unknown entity. She is a bounty hunter, but she doesn't give off the for-profit bounty hunter vibe that is so stereotypical in today's media. Rather, I get a real sense of duty and honor from her, a feeling that she wants to protect people from danger and help them avoid the heartbreak and terror she experienced in her own life. This is really shown in Metroid Prime, as it starts with her finding a destroyed space pirate vessel, and her mission from there is to figure out what they are up to and stopping it, not for profit or recognition, but because it's right. And that is the real reason I think she'd be a ranger. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and while you're there, let me know who I should do next, and tune in next time to Out of Initiative.